Here's a really good one, I think. Avoiding defining variables inside an if statement. Really good.
Well, oh man, that one is gonna bite you so often. It's correct. Like I would, some languages force you. That's not even a question. They force you to declare your variables before everything. So, for example, in AutoHotkey, it is possible for you to say if a now contains 11, name equals right else. Okay. So now I have a variable which in this particular case, if the variable here that I'm checking contains the number 11, the name is going to contain my name. If it doesn't, then it goes ahead and contains this part. As you can tell right now, it's going to work just fine. I will have my name in there because it's 11 for me. But here's the other part. And I've seen this a lot. Like one of our radiologist clients does this very often. He will have enormous blocks of code. We'll have code here, a lot of code, and a lot of code here too. Okay. And what he's going to do is that in the if statement, he will define a variable here, name equals Isaiah. And here's the freaking annoyance. He's going to forget. He's going to forget because there's so much code, right? He's going to forget to go to the other branches and add that variable in here. And what's going to happen is, well, of course, I cannot do that. That was the error captured by by the way. So it copied the code and it exited, and then it, well, look, it didn't exit again, even though I had a 1.5 millisecond. It's the click that is failing. It's not the timing issue.
Well, we can use our syntax writer to fix that.
To now do that, right? I think that one would help. So even though I have a 1 second delay, it still fails sometimes. It's not because of it's not a timing issue. It's a button issue. So the point is, it just went ahead and activated MS Edge. So at this point, what happens is he's gonna forget to add that name in the other branches. Especially this is true when you have multiple if-else branches. I don't know if you have done this, but if you open here, you could do this else if, and then another else if. I don't know if you've done that, but now you're setting yourself up for a lot of pain, because once you define a variable, and by definition, I mean you have never used it before, and now you're going to create that variable from scratch. Now you're setting yourself up to must have to use that inside each of the if statements. Because if you don't do that, what is going to happen is now you forgot to put it in this branch or the else, and then later on you say message box name. What is going to happen is when none of this is true, or for example, one of these guys is true that doesn't have the variable in it, now the message box here is going to fail. That's what's going to happen because you didn't define the variable.
And to clarify, though, I mean, it's not a syntax error, so you won't discover it when you launch, But
No.
it may not happen right away, or it might take quite a while. But that's how you find bugs, because it's conditionally waiting for that situation, and then it finally happens. You're like, this never happened before. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that is a problem, right? Now, other languages, as I mentioned, most people right away define all their variables at the top of the code, whatever they are, and they define them as blank, or name2 is going to be
And
blank.
even define the type, right? Like you have to
define the type and so on. But again, more control. But everything is defined above, even if it is blank, even if you're not using it. And in the end, if you don't use it in your code, what's going to happen is that the compiler is never going to create that variable. It's going to be optimized. It's going to say, oh, you never used this, so I'm not going to even bother, right? So what Joe is saying, it is a great idea, and I totally agree with this. Hey, define your variables outside of your if statements, especially if you're going to use them outside of the if statement, because that's what's going on. If I define it in here and then I use it right there, right? Well, it is conditionally defined, but it's also conditionally used. Right. So it's not going to be used if that condition doesn't happen. But if you have that variable in use outside of that condition, yeah, as soon as you define it inside that condition, you're screwed. It's going to be a painful situation there. So hopefully that makes sense and helps you out figure out some of the bugs that happen, from time to time. Those are the worst ones. Those are the worst ones to figure out. So there you go.
Did you say the compiler would remove if it put in name2 there? Go back to your script.
Sure. So when let me see, I'm doing Control C here, there.
Right. And compile that. Well, fix it so that it'll run.
No, hold on. Let me make sure I'm very clear on this. AutoHotkey doesn't do that. Okay. In other languages, some compilers optimize, because what happens is everything what I'm doing here means memory usage. Right. This is going to allocate some memory. This is going to do that too. And again, in other languages, memory usage is very important. So they try to optimize. And if you never use a variable, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
We have a meeting here at 11, so we have to run. But what I was going to say is also that might be a fun thing to do. If you have a long script, give it to AI and ask it if there are any unused variables, because it'll do a great job of telling you that, breaking that down for you.
Yep.
We'll hope to see you tomorrow. I thought that was a lot of great stuff in there today.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.